Good morning. I'm doing good. Day 3, day 2.
Day 2 for
Day
me. Day
2.
3 for you?
Day 3 for me.
Okay,
Yeah.
when you got in
Energy's high, though.
Sunday? Saturday.
Saturday. Day 4. Today's
Okay,
day 4.
day 4.
Yeah.
Welcome to
Yeah.
day 4. Welcome
Thank
to day
you.
2 for our viewers and listeners who have been listening.
Yep.
I'm excited to talk to you because, one, we're at the amazing Sojo booth. We're here at Next.
Obviously. It's
There's
looking great.
They're the best booth. No offense to everybody else here,
I
but
agree.
they are the best booth in the whole vendor hall. So,
Okay, just make sure Brooke doesn't hear us.
yeah,
Okay?
we don't want Brooke Fotz hearing that they have the best
He's
booth.
very serious over there working, so
Yeah.
he won't even.
Shout out to Brooke. Okay, I'm really excited to talk to you because the Sojo team introduced me to you. We got a little chat, and you guys have a very, very interesting business. So I would love for you to just kind of describe the founding story maybe and going into what you guys do and
Yeah,
how
of
you
course.
build the business. And then there'll be a ton of questions I'll be throwing at you throughout that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm super excited. So we're based in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and Outpost has 250 units, and they
Okay.
kind of cover the entire spectrum. So you've got your condos, you've got your single family homes, multifamily units, and they really range from like mid-grade all the way to super luxe. And
Okay.
Jackson's a really unique community because there are only about 800 professionally managed homes in Jackson. So we have a significant amount of the market share, which is really exciting. And we've grown really quickly over the last couple of years. So the company was founded in 2014, and I came in about 2 years ago when
Okay.
we built our holding company called the Outpost Group
Okay.
to oversee our entities in Jackson, which is not just Outpost.
Okay. This is where it's going to get exciting. But you also didn't just start with Outpost. You started technically with eData and 360 Blue.
Yeah, so I started with 360 Blue and reservations in 2015. So a long time ago now,
Yeah.
almost 9 years ago. And I had, like most people, no interest in being in vacation rentals, but I really found this like really cool company that I
Yeah.
wanted to be a part of.
Did you
And
fall into vacation rentals like we all did?
yeah,
Yeah.
I did. I was like, I'm going to move to Thailand or become a lawyer. I had all these like grand ideas of what I wanted to do. And then I started working for 360. And I met Jason and Ashley and Jeremy, who founded and owned 360, and I never looked back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never looked
Greatest
back.
years of life,
Yeah.
you know?
I'm saying now here you are killing it. You guys are doing some cool things at Outpost. So my one thing that we always hear kind of on the podcast, we always interview entrepreneurs, and their number one thing is like stay focused, right? Pick one inventory, pick one business to do.
Oh, yeah. The hedgehog
Yes.
concept. Okay.
Yes. So how is it managing 250 properties that are a mixed style of unit type and obviously probably traveler and guest?
Yep. So it's really, we try to make it look as easy as possible. And the goal is we really want all of our owners and all of our guests to feel like they're at home when they're in Jackson. And that was so important to us. And what we've done is we have 6 companies in Jackson, but we have a leader of each individual entity
Awesome.
whose main focus is the experience of the client or the owner or the guest at their respective business. And then we have our parent company, which our job is to really make sure that each of those leaders is ensuring that the clients are having the best experience possible, that our marketing looks fantastic, that our financials are up to date.
Yeah.
And that is really helpful for us, just like build a really incredible team. And that really fulfills our entrepreneurial need to do a lot of things at one time.
Yeah. Like shiny object syndrome, but controlled.
Yes,
and
exactly.
executed and planned.
Yeah.
I like that. So with these companies, they all serve each other into the guest and the traveler and the homeowner and all this stuff that you guys have. For a lot of people that are listening, watching, kind of maybe showcase why does this fit so good? If we have companies that support each other for an overall goal and mission of guest experience, customer service, executing high level, hospitality, basically.
Right. I think that so many companies will relate to this. Whether you have 1 unit or whether you have 1,000, you want to control as much of the experience as you possibly can,
100%.
especially when you work in a vacation destination or even a leisure market where getting a vendor on the phone is nearly impossible. And it takes them months and months and months to address a leak. And you've gotten 5 1-star reviews about it. And so the most we can do to control that experience is really where this idea was born.
Yeah.
So the housekeeping company came first, and we were having a really, really hard time keeping housekeepers on staff. And just attrition overall with our housekeepers and honestly with our homes, because we're in such a difficult market, was becoming an issue. And so we thought, okay, if we can start this housekeeping company, housekeepers can all come in as employees rather than contractors. Like, that is one facet of the experience we can control. And then it snowballed from there, and it just went downhill really quickly, and the snowball kept getting bigger and bigger.
So you guys not only have the housekeeping company, you have coffee roaster, you have...
Yep, landscaping and snow removal.
Okay, I love that.
Yes. So actually, private chef came second.
Okay.
There were 2 chefs in town in Jackson that had been laid off during COVID.
Yeah.
And were thinking about what they could do. They were running a couple restaurants in town, and they started doing meal delivery at home. And Mecky, who owns the Outpost group, said, wait, I think that this could be like a really awesome partnership. I have the business sense. You two are incredibly talented at what you do. One is a sweet chef, one is a savory chef. I know. So we kind of had everything. Yeah, right? Same. And their partnership really created this in-home private chef experience that elevated Outpost to this next level.
I love that.
Then it was the landscaping and snow removal business, which again, like, it's the vendor side of things in Jackson and in so many other destinations. Getting someone to come service landscaping for your owners or snow removal in those times that last for 8 months out of the year are really, really difficult. And so this company allowed us to control even more, particularly of the owner experience. And then the coffee roasting business happened, and that is the newest venture.
I love coffee. So you already had me at coffee. I was just like, oh, yeah, sign me up.
Sign me up.
I'm quitting podcasting, guys. I'm going to Jackson Hole, and I'm going to start.
You're going to start roasting coffee?
Yes. 100%.
It is. So this is actually funny. Side note, green coffee is coffee that has not been roasted yet. I did not know that. So when I first started, my job was like research green coffee buying, right? Because you're sourcing green coffee beans, like hundreds of pounds of green coffee beans from different countries.
Where do you guys get your beans?
So, oh my gosh, Papua New Guinea, Brazil, Guatemala,
I'm a Brazilian
Ethiopia.
bean guy,
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay, we have a really incredible farm that we work with in Brazil. I thought green coffee was like sustainable coffee for the first 2 months, that I'm like so mortified to say that out
how
loud.
do we figure this out?
I know. I was like, sustainability is really important to me. And then I realized that green coffee was coffee that hadn't been roasted yet. And I was like, okay, I have a lot to learn about this industry.
You learn something new.
Every single day. Yes.
And it's like, I don't know. I had, like, growing up, my family would tell me that I was allergic to milk. And so my milk was different. It was rice milk. And I had called it boy's milk because I had 5 sisters. And so no one told me that when you go to other people's houses and they ask you if you want a glass of milk, I was like, I want boy's milk. Yeah. So you never know. Really green coffee beans could be sustainable.
Okay. That makes me feel better. Right.
I was going to say, I'll share an embarrassing. Make you feel a little bit better about it. Okay, so I'm very curious. So there's a lot of people listening. I think the message of 2023 for vacation rental managers or hosts or anybody under the umbrella of the industry, I think we're all tired.
Yeah.
Very tired. And it's turn of staff, turn of ownership. It's turn of this and like lower margins, higher operating costs, but lack of revenue, scarcity of oversupply in a market. And you were kind of telling me about how at Jackson Hole, there's either government-owned land or I forget the other one, but there's not really many places to go outside unless you want to go to Idaho Falls. So when you guys are building this internal empire, multiple businesses under one holding company in an area that really isn't much growth outside of that market, how do you guys, I guess, handle the housekeeping employment and the owner turn possibilities? Like how's that all happening within, and how are you guys, I guess, in a easier way of saying, making sure that it's not happening in the turns?
Yeah. Keeping the house stable, the house of our company.
Better phrasing.
Yeah. So, okay. It's really, really difficult. And it is by far, I mean, really, it starts with the employees. There is so much employee churn because you have people that primarily are from New England. It's really interesting, that move out west, that really want to get out of the hustle and bustle of the city. And it is a tough life. Like, not only is it winter for 8 months out of the year, and it's,
Yeah, I got stressed just thinking about it. So yeah.
Yeah, it's coming. It's
Yeah.
already, like, frosty out there right now, and we're at the end of September, but it's just really difficult to live there,
Mm.
both because of the winter and the need for snow tires, which are really expensive,
Yeah.
but also housing
Mm.
is incredibly difficult, and it's really unique in Jackson because the land, so 97% of the land outside of the town of Jackson, which is incredibly small, we have a population of, like, 10,000 people,
Oh, wow.
is all owned by the National Park Service. We have Yellowstone National Park, Grand Teton National Park, Bridger Teton National Forest, and so much of the land is protected,
Mhm.
and it really prevents you from going outside of the town of Jackson. And Idaho Falls is 2 hours away, and some people do commute, but it's just a tough like, you have to work really hard to make it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
similar to, like, living in a San Francisco or a
Yeah.
Manhattan, a different lifestyle, but it's really expensive, and you have to be super committed to wanna
Yeah.
stay there.
100%.
And so we spend a significant amount of time talking about employees and how we can keep them around.
Yeah.
Like, not only compensation is a really huge part of that. And so we have to pay our employees more.
Mhm.
And we understand that that is a cost of doing business, but it's also like we want to make sure that they can afford to live
Yeah.
as comfortably as possible in a town like Jackson.
100%.
The benefits package, ski passes, anything that we can do to make the environment really fun, happy hours and team ski days. And I think culture is such a like big buzzword
Yeah.
these days, but it really does matter, especially when you have owners who want to make sure that you have a really solid foundation. And the more
Yeah.
churn they see on the employee side, the more concern they get. But we actually, so this is really interesting, essentially have like zero churn, which we're really, really proud of. And it's so different. I come from a beach destination
Yeah.
where the market is so saturated
It's in
that,
and out, in and
oh
out.
my God,
Yeah.
so much churn all the time. And if the company next door to you gives a lower projection, then like the owner is gone the next day.
Yeah.
There is a sense of loyalty that exists in Jackson. And I think that's true of ski markets a
Yeah.
lot of the time in general. That has really been incredible to see coming from a place like Santa Rosa Beach and the 30A Destin area. But I think that that is a really big testament to what we do to try to keep our employees there and happy as much as we possibly can. And we have a higher commission percentage, but we try to include as much as possible within that commission percentage so our owners don't feel like they're getting nickel and dimed.
Yeah. Well, you're able to offer more by the just ecosystem of everything you guys have built from.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, hey, look, if you go to company X, good luck getting your snow moved off
Yeah.
that roof of yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
like that makes sense versus maybe a company, even I can use ours, for example. Like we don't have all those services. It's like,
Mhm.
hey, we're lucky if our maintenance guy can get out of his own driveway, you know? So it's like,
Right.
figure it out. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. All of our owners listening, that's not happening.
I promise they're getting out of their
Yeah, they're
driveway.
getting out. So yeah, like that makes so much more sense on why you can do that.
Yeah.
And culture is a buzzword, but I think culture applied in actuality of the business. So giving like the ski pass, like I love that example because I'm sure your housekeepers and any other team members
Mhm.
that are working their butts off, like I'm sure they would love to go ski and like enjoy some time with their family.
Oh my
And
God,
like
absolutely.
yeah, so taking the time off and actually having the ability to benefit from it is just really important. I think,
Mhm.
that actually applies into the actual work that they do.
Yep.
And so you also mentioned off camera, getting in the forefront and doing more with AI.
Yeah, talk
So
about a
yeah, I
buzzword.
know, real buzzwords. It really got me going.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of vacation rental management companies try to either find that fine line of, hey, I'm going to go all in on AI,
Yeah.
or I'm out of AI and I don't want to be a part of it.
Mhm.
And I think humans are the only thing that can do what we do. So, okay, yes, there's two different camps and there's like that middle camp
Yeah.
that's like, I'm trying to figure it out. I want to play with Chat GPT, but I also like want to make sure we're getting that personality piece in.
Mhm.
So you guys are trying to get on the forefront of AI, be, more adaptive than anything. So kind of give me your thought process and thinking with AI, how it's impacting our industry, your guys' multiple businesses,
Yeah.
not just the one. So we'd love to know your thoughts.
I love this conversation.
Yes.
Okay, so I come from
We're
a
about to
revenue
geek out.
management background. Yeah, right. I come from a revenue management background,
Mhm.
which revenue managers like I don't want to use any type of automated tool. I
Yeah.
want to do as much as possible to have as much human intervention as I possibly can. And I think that that is so important and something that will never, ever, ever be replaced by
Yeah.
AI. my opinion on AI, and I like am open to debate if you have
Ooh,
a different opinion,
yes, let's go.
or if the listeners have a
Yeah.
different opinion, is that it's not going anywhere, right? Like, I think that we can all agree on the fact that it is only going to get more involved from here and more experienced and more advanced. And so I think you have this option to either embrace it and try to fit it into your company, or you can run from it and really be on the backside
Yeah.
of the future. And so I think it's scary for our team, right? Like, we have a lot of conversations with the team who's worried about AI replacing their roles, which
Yep.
I don't think is a possibility for a lot of reasons. Like, AI can't manage people,
No.
and AI can't have HR conversations. Like, there's so much about AI that it can't do on the human interaction side, but it can write copy
Yeah.
really, really well.
Yeah.
And it can help you debug code if you
Yep.
need it to. And I think I had a friend actually who's not in the industry. Her boss sat her whole team down and said, I want you to replace one part of your job with AI.
Mm.
And I thought that that was really, really interesting and a good way to get people familiar with it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think the more familiarity you do have with it, the less afraid of it you are.
Yeah.
So however we can integrate it into our business to make things more efficient, not necessarily on like the communicating with the guest front, but
Yeah.
if it can help write emails and templates that are still read through by humans, like that would be a huge game changer for us. And so we're continuously looking like transcribing notes, which I know CJ over there does with his team. So yeah, that's my opinion. What are your thoughts?
I'm very much in the same camp. I'm a big believer you don't need to understand AI in the sense of how it's made, what's built behind the curtain type deal.
Yeah,
You just need to understand how to use it and use it properly.
totally agree.
So it's just like why like a lot of people here at TravelNets conference next, it's not like we're here to learn anything crazy new. It's like we need to understand our tools better. We need to understand our partners better. That's why a lot of, I think, businesses in our industry can really struggle. Is like, all right, this PMS doesn't work or this doesn't work. I'm just going to get a new one. And then they go to the next company and then it's like the same cycle over and over again when in reality,
Maybe you're the problem.
yeah. Well, it's like, did you really take the time to learn the
Yeah.
product? And like, sometimes it sucks because these guys have a hard job too. Like they have to teach the software to a lot of people, to a lot of teams, a lot of companies that use it differently.
Yep.
So being able to just have this ability to chase down that person and like, hey, I'm not understanding this piece.
Yeah.
Help me figure this out. And if it is a product issue, great. You're able to like figure that out. So I'm a big believer, not understanding the technicality, but understanding the use case.
Same.
So
Same.
it's
I don't think anybody knows. It's like the black box. Like
Yeah.
you don't need to know.
like Elon Musk knows how ChatGPT was built, but I don't care.
Yeah.
And I actually don't think I want to
it
know.
seems like space in my brain that I can't afford
Yeah.
to take up
Amen.
with knowledge.
Amen. Yeah. So I very much believe it too. I think you can also speed up the process of everything you were saying. Like if I sit down to write this episode's copy, this is going to take me 20 minutes because I'm going to try to like think like, how do I want to word this? How do I want to do this?
Yeah.
In reality,
Or it could transcribe the episode for you.
there you go.
Yeah. And it does so well. We use HubSpot as a CRM for our other business. I was telling you a little bit off camera, and they now transcribe voicemails, but not just transcribe, they summarize, and they do it with
that's
emails
nice.
too. So if a client sends us a 5-paragraph email where you're just dreading sitting down and reading
Yeah.
that 5-paragraph, like you have 400 things to do, it will summarize it so succinctly, but include all the necessary details.
That's
and
awesome.
it even tell you the tone of the message. So you know, like, okay, they're pissed off. Like, I will also read the 5-paragraph email.
Yeah.
Or they're just inquiring about if you can mow their lawn next week.
That's
Game
great.
changer.
Great. We use a editing software called Descript.
Yeah.
And they do transcriptions. They also have like this AI feature where all this background noise with us right now is going to be gone by the time we
I've
edit.
been concerned about that.
Yeah, no, it'll be gone. It'll be completely taken out. As long as we keep the mics good, we'll be fine.
My mic, I've been doing a
No, you've
lot
been good.
with the
You've
mic.
been good. No,
Okay.
you've been good.
Okay, cool.
I would have like,
You should lift
Yeah,
it
yeah,
up
up,
a
up,
little
up,
bit. Yeah.
but then there's also the transcription piece, and I was playing around with it, and it can change my tone. So if I end on a sentence or I cut a clip and it sounds like it ends weird,
Yeah.
I can have it regenerate my tone and make it sound like I ended in a real sentence. So AI's crazy.
We're on the
Cool.
same team.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I hope people have different opinions about
Yeah,
it because
bring it
I
on.
want to do some like healthy
Yeah. Yeah. Healthy arguing.
Yeah.
I like
I've
it.
been healthy arguing with my marketing team about it because they're like, we're going to write that copy. Like,
Yeah.
do not put that into Chat GPT. And I'm like, I already did it.
Well, tell them to get more like, hey, let's be creative. Like, put in ChatGPT and let's make it more fun. Like, let's create better campaigns. Let's do this. Like, you have so much time.
Totally.
Yeah.
There's so much opportunity.
I'm on your team.
Yeah.
I'm on your team. All right. So my question I've been asking everyone at Next to kind of like wrap up the episode is more around what's been the one thing that you were looking forward to being here? Was it trying to get educated in a certain area? Was it networking? What was the piece that you were hoping to take away from the conference?
Okay, so my favorite part about every conference, I answer this question with a track team member yesterday, is like seeing all
I'm
my
changing
friends.
my question.
I know, but it's such a fun question. I do think, and it sounds silly, but there is something about talking not only to vendors, which we all have so many conversations with vendors, but other companies that are really, really different than yours or really, really similar to yours. You know, Track rolled out the distribution engine, which has been a very hot topic.
Okay.
In the last 2 months, they're still in the process of rolling it out, and it's had a lot of mixed reviews so far. But the one thing that I have loved about it is it has sparked so much conversation between other vacation rental managers. And so I could call my friend Dirk, who is in Washington, and say like, hey, what do you think about this distribution engine? And I met him at Next.
Yeah.
You know, and like the friends that you can make that help you get through hard times in your business. My friend Brian Harris, that's down in Gulf Shores, we talk once a month. And
100%.
we also met at Next. Like, there are so many opportunities that I really enjoy coming. Like, I think it is always worth your time.
Yeah.
So that's been my favorite part, I think.
I love it. And this is my first user conference, so I like that everyone is here on the same.
Do you have a first timer badge on your?
I know. I'm not a big conference badge guy.
Yeah.
I technically kind of hate them, but
Yeah,
it just like throws off my outfit, you know?
it does throw off the outfit,
Yeah.
and they always get stuck,
Yeah.
like when you're
And
in
they're all,
sweaters
like
like
long
this.
and
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's rough. So yeah, I love that. This has been really cool to see. I love knowing that everyone's on the same software, at least same core software.
Yeah.
You'd be like, cool, like what are you learning? What are you seeing? I think it's just a different conversation than if you're like at VRMA or
Totally.
any other conference.
And we have just like this really open industry in general where you can have conversations with your direct competitors or indirect, like anybody. And everyone's like, oh my God, this is a really big pain point for
100%.
us too. And I think that's so unique to our industry.
I couldn't agree more. Well, I've really enjoyed chatting with you. This has
Same.
been awesome. We should start another morning segment with this beautiful
I
background.
know. It looks so good. Do you have the bookshelf?
I don't know. Maybe.
It looks really
Yeah.
It's kind of like we're on the beach right now, even though we're in Minneapolis and it is in fact raining and has been for 4 days.
It's sad.
And cold. Yeah.
It reminds me of Seattle, and I'm not happy.
Yeah, I'm not happy
Yeah.
either. I know, this has been so fun.
Yeah,
Thanks for
it's fun.
having
Yeah,
me.
of course.
For the
And-
morning coffee
Yeah,
chat. Cheers.
And for all the listeners and viewers, everything will be in the show notes that we talked about. So make sure you like and subscribe. And then if you want to, what'd you say?
Follow me. Oh,
Properly or kindly debate or what was
kindly debate. I
Yes.
was like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe, follow, and make sure you tell your mom about the podcast.
Yeah.
Make sure she's listening to it now.
Yes, let's debate.
Yes.
Yeah.